G'day and welcome. This podcast is nothing more than as it says. Three blokes sharing their love of whiskey, having a laugh, and most importantly, having a crack. So grab your glass, your favourite whiskey, and kick back and enjoy our podcast. Please remember to not drink and drive, over 18s only, and as always, know your limits and drink responsibly. Remember, alcohol should be enjoyed and appreciated, never abused. Now, time to kick off the pod.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Welcome back to another edition of Having a Crack with Big Mac, John Boy and Roscoe. We are here tonight on a lovely, shitty Friday night, I should say. Outside it's pretty wet. It has been here in Melbourne all day. But we come bearing some amazing whiskies for you tonight, and even better sounds that we pre-recorded before on this little Rodecaster Pro. We put some lovely little sounds together. But before I get into the whiskies of this evening, boys, how's the week's been?
Good, thanks, Macca.
Yeah.
And what a night it is. Having a drink around the bar here with Macca, having a crack at the podcast, and wowee, this is going to be some sort of show, isn't it? Isn't it just we're going to have a bit of fun, no doubt about it.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. What about you, Johnny? What have you been up to?
Oh, shitty week.
Yeah?
Flu, not COVID, got tested. I'm fine. But
That's great.
Happy to hear.
Yeah, been looking forward to this whiskey all week, so, let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Very nice.
Soon becoming the highlight of the week. Friday nights doing the podcast, no more soccer.
Well, you're not wrong. Yeah. They'll have to pay us if they want to play down there. We play Rezzies. We play Saturdays at Rezzies.
No, thank you. Actually, I got a little spicy truth about that one. I heard today as well.
Oh, we have to stay tuned for Roscoe's Spicy Truths and Hard Truths. That's coming up a little bit later, possibly on part 3 of the pod, where we're going to delve a little bit deeper into those. So stay tuned for that. But tonight, we are going to kick off the evening with the very first whiskey, one in my current collection that I said to myself I would make sure I crack open with the boys on our first episode of the podcast, for the simple fact that this is an extremely rare whiskey. It's a Talisker 25-year-old. Now, there has only been 5,946 bottles ever created of this whiskey, and this is bottle number 4,601. Would you believe it?
I would.
Well, you better fucking believe it, because we're about to have a beautiful little drop of this one here. That Roscoe's giving me the eyes there. I reckon that might have constituted one of these ones.
What's that?
That's a swear jar. Every time someone swears, you put a quarter in it.
Who gets the money?
I don't know. We'll use it to buy something for the office, like a case of Bud Light or something.
Fucking awesome.
Well, that's me. That's my first contribution to the swear jar for this evening. So
Put him down for $1. We had a bit of a practice run last week, and look, it was a bit of fun, but I wouldn't say we're any better at what we're doing right now, but we certainly feel a bit more comfortable in the situation, and we should be able to run a good night tonight, which is going to make sure that you're going to enjoy these whiskies. You're going to be able to listen along. You're going to be able to hear what we're drinking and the notes we're getting, and if you're lucky enough to get around and have a whiskey at one of your own friend's house, and you can sort of sit back and enjoy it with a bit of, straight up, bit of ice, enjoy it as you go, and that's what it's all about. That's what we're here for. So,
yep, it is spot on, Roscoe. So let's kick on with the Talisker, mate. So we're all got our nosing glasses here. Where is mine? Here it is. So, boys, kick it off. What are you picking up on firstly?
Maritime.
You're going to go with Brian?
A lot of Brian.
Brian.
It's all there this week. It wasn't there last week.
It's all about big Brian. Old Brian.
little bit of sweetness.
You wouldn't want him in your glass, would you?
Bit of brine.
Bit of brine.
Big fucking glass.
You're not wrong. Another one for you, mate.
It'll be full by the end of the night, don't worry. So, yeah, just... Oh,
Less smoke. Not much smoke on this at all, to be honest. No.
I'm a bit dumbfounded by this, really. So
Yeah.
different to your standard Talisker. It is just so different.
At least we're getting the salty notes coming through this week.
Yeah, Brian. Again. Brian Price
Brian.
salty.
He is pretty salty.
There a bit of vanilla or something in that?
Johnny, good pick up.
I reckon you're not far off the mark there, John.
Could be a vanilla.
Well, this one in particular, we're going to kick into the bit of background on it. So basically since 2011, Talisca's 30 and 25-year-old expressions were bottled at 45.8% as opposed to natural strength. Brine and pepper lift gives away to peach and vanilla, followed by hints of licorice and smouldering cedarwood.
Don't mind a bit of cedarwood. Got a bit in the factory.
Worth a bit, that one. Worth about as much as this bottle. Yeah, it's. I reckon it's not as common on the nose. Some of those notes, though, you do get the woody smell, but not really licorice, would you?
Nah, that one's a bit hard to get.
Yeah, yeah,
You're going to try, warming up your glass. Put
yeah,
it at the top.
yeah. We'll give that a crack. Thank the Bakery Hill guys for showing us that the other week when we went out there. They showed us how to warm up the glass. It gives the whiskey a little bit more chance to unlock some extra flavours.
This is a cask strength, is it?
So it's 45.8%, so not cask strength, no.
25 years.
25 years. Very tricky to get one of these bottles. I doubt very many places will still have them. I was fortunate enough to win this bottle, just being in the industry and that sort of thing. But yes, I got this for best dressed. I dressed up as Fat Bastard one night for a work conference and pulled it off good enough and earned myself a 25-year-old, so why not?
Which version of Fat Bastard? Was the kilt or in the towel or?
Closer to the towel version. I didn't really have... I know I did have some clothes on. I had the sumo suit, one of the sumo suits on, and then I wore one of the Scottish hats and had a dog toy roast chicken leg with me as well. So did the full 9 yards. So.
Wouldn't that be a sight to see?
Oh, it was. It was. Ladies loved it, didn't they? Yeah.
Tell you what, if you warm that glass up, put your hand over the top,
Yep.
let it steal some smell in before, smelling it. You do actually pick up the licorice a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's give that a go.
Might be a bit harder with these glasses. Being a bit bigger.
To warm it up a bit quicker.
Yeah, just larger surface area.
Yeah.
Yeah, Macca and Ross have a much larger nosing glass, whereas I've got a pretty small one. Phrasing.
Oh, God, I really wish I was fucking on the... Well done, Jono. First joke for the evening. Kicked it off beautifully. Excellent. All right. Yep, so I've warmed that up a bit more. Hints? Nothing strong, though. Only hints.
All right, try
Give us your one. Yeah. That you are. Yeah, 100%. Smell that. So Jono's smaller glass has a bit more smell to it. Our big glasses don't have much smell at all.
Like an aniseed, like licorice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I get it. I reckon I could almost get a peach through this glass.
Yeah?
The sweetness maybe is from the peach. Like, I don't know, if you're going to pick a fruit out of that, probably the peach is the one. I think they probably deliver with that.
Yep. So they've got the next part on here. By the way, I'm just reading this straight out of Nick's Wine Merchants, which is a liquor store based in Melbourne. They have an incredible selection of whiskies and numerous other spirits and beers and everything else, lovely wines as well. But they have continued on by saying, exposure emphasises the ripe orchard fruit aspect. Semi-sweet and briny in the mouth with an oily peat and fruit fusion. Finish turns beeswaxy, mildy peppery, Fisherman's Friend Lozenger, and beautifully rounded off by Sooty Creamy Pete. Textbook balance Talisker at its most accessible. So let's see, when we give this a burl to try, if we can pick up on pretty much any of those notes.
Speaking of Fisherman's Friend, were you at that function where someone put a whole pack of Fisherman's Friend in the, what they have, a whiskey? Not whiskey, vodka or something?
Yes, I was. That what function was that again, Roscoe?
Were you the culprit?
No.
Have we pointed fingers? Well, I don't remember being there myself.
It's a bloke that when he goes in goal, it's
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
bit of ABD action.
Was it? No, it wasn't him, was it?
Oh, no, it wasn't. Sorry, ABD. I'm Sammy Patrick.
was that the end of season function, was it?
I think so. Yeah. It was one of those.
Could have been one of the mid-year functions,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
just at the club room.
Yeah. No. At the shed. The warehouse.
Exactly right. All right,
Well, that same night was where AVD got got pretty hammered, I think. So
Drink responsibly.
Stop mentioning the factory. The person who owns the factory might be listening, so we don't want them hearing too many stories.
yeah. All right, so let's give this a go, boys. Cheers.
Oily in the mouth.
Yeah.
Peppery. Definitely got the pepper.
Linger. That's smooth, though.
Yeah, even with the pepper.
Yep.
25 years in a cask to make that.
Yep, and the colour of it, it wouldn't be overly dark to a certain extent, considering it's been in there for 25 years, but it has got more of a dark aspect as opposed to, say, a standard Talisker Sky or a...
It's past the golden point.
Correct.
Moving forward to sort of, I don't know, darker hue, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
It's not quite gold, it's beyond that scale.
Yeah, yeah.
Then again, the lighting that we're in the bar here, Macca,
The lovely lighting.
might not be accurate. Might have to do this test during the day.
Yeah, it's got... look, it's got quite a nice... pretty nice, easygoing sort of taste to it. I would say I'd pick up more on the peppery side. Initially, I think it's got the fruit. I got the fruit initially at the start, but it has washed away pretty quickly as well.
The oil on the tongue coats the tongue.
Yep.
Yeah, look, and you can even see in the glass as well. Look, if it's 25 year, it's probably the best whiskey we've put in a glass because it's supposed to coat the sides and take its time to fall down out of the glass. So it's a good little exception, sort of, trial there. See that just tire away,
Yep.
and it sort of does take its time to fall down the glass, the liquid on the glass. So, that's one of those things they say, the longer it spends in the cask, the longer it takes to drip down the side of the glass. So probably put it to the test there with the 25-year-old. I've never had that before, or never had a 25-year-old other than last week on episode part nearly 1.
Yep. The one that everyone is eager to hear but won't hear unless...
Bit of sun.
Yeah. We'll bring that up later down the track for a rainy day. We'll see if quotas have been met. But
Yeah. So is this episode 1 then?
well, technically it is. Yeah.
All right. So this is
Yeah.
We'll call it episode 1. We're going to go with episode 1.
Yeah. So to give anyone out there that's not as familiar with Talisker and where it's based in Scotland as well, so it's positioned on the Isle of Skye, which is a small little island just off Isla. There's multiple islands across Isla as well, but this one in particular, you are going to get generally a lot more maritime notes, a lot more salty notes, but in particular, the smokiness is a lot more present in the Talisker 10, but not as much really in this one here. So I think it might have backed off, whether it's the aging processes has sort of led to that, or perhaps they haven't sort of made this as peaty as what, say, the Talisker 10 might have been.
I agree. The peat isn't as strong. It's a lot smoother. I mean, Talisker's not a bad drink by any means, and especially when you open a bottle of Talisker and you have a glass of that, you always know you're drinking a Talisker. So I wouldn't say they're disguising that by leaving it longer in the barrel. But yeah, I guess it's one of those things when you go too far, as in such a long period in the process, you probably change that, the general characteristics. You don't mean to do it, but you would just because it's been in the barrel for so long. So it's interesting in that sense, but I know putting it side by side against another Talisker is another reason to have that 25-year stamp on it, and it really is a good drink.
Yep.
But they might have started leaning into the smokiness more recently. The 25-year-old was made, more than 25 years
Correct.
ago, whereas if you buy a 10-year-old,
You're spot on there, yeah.
10 to 11 years old.
Yep. Now, this bottle in particular is valued online at the moment through Nick's Wine Merchants, I believe, because of the rarity. It is quite a large amount compared to what it was about a year and a half ago. And the price in particular we are looking at is a whopping $699.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, it's bloody expensive, that.
Certainly a good drink to kick off the podcast, and we're really happy with being part of this and letting you share the good bottles with us.
Well, it's a pleasure, boys.
There's plenty more up on the shelf there as well. If you're sitting in here and having a look at this bar, and when you do pop around and get a chance to get involved, it's certainly a sight to be seen. That's for sure.
It is a well put together bar.
It is.
Westweight, I think.
We've got to thank Roscoe for all his hard work with this bar. There's a couple other people that we'd
Special shout outs.
give little shout outs to Bryce, Big Brian.
Win Joinery, the boys in the team at Win Joinery there.
They-
All your cabinetry needs around Melbourne, hit up Win Joinery. They're the best in the business, no doubt about it.
They do a bloody good job there, and they put together this lovely bar for us, which you'll be, if you go on the socials, you'll be able to see some photos, some video of it as well. And then, the rest of my house was all renovated by the one and truly great one, Roscoe. So thank you very much.
Which, in many ways, I'm going to have to sort of take the blame for this train wreck that's about to happen. I imagine that I'm just going to have to sit here and enjoy it. Yet, at the same time, it was a special sort of event, and we're happy to put in the hard work and get the house up to scratch and help you guys out without a doubt. So another win there.
Indeed, mate. Indeed, it was. I think the train wreck you're referring to was probably last week's pod or the week before's pod. So that was
Bigger and better things.
yeah, that was definitely one that you'd want to
Save for a rainy day.
save for a rainy day, indeed. All right. So now we've just dropped a bit of ice into this to see if it unlocks a few extra flavours.
All right. Before I give that a taste with ice, I did actually pick up on the licorice when
Yep.
having it neat.
Yep. So you got a bit on yours.
Yeah.
Yep.
The licorice in the taste or in the nose?
In the taste as
Okay.
well.
So it's flowed through.
Good drink.
Anything with ice just makes it a
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 over here. Throw a bit of ice and a bit of whiskey and I'm happy. Don't worry about that.
definitely.
Flawless victory.
It definitely is pretty flawless. Once you drop that little bit of ice in, don't need too much. Just a couple little blocks. It has unlocked a bit more though. I think the spiciness on the pepper dissipates, but you still get a little bit of mouth warmth in there as well. But it's soft.
Little bit of sweetness as well.
Yeah.
Starts to come out.
Yep.
I mean, once you cool it, if I could have my whiskey in the fridge, I would, because you just drink it cold. I wouldn't put ice in it. You know what I mean? Once it's cold. But you can't do that with a $699 bottle. You've got to enjoy it first up. So
Yep.
that's the way it's done. And with a little bit of ice, it's beautiful.
You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. What did we just witness tonight on the TV, Roscoe?
Victory decided to let Sean Evans know that he should retire from refereeing. And so that's first up. There's a cheeky little 3-1 there. Wellington are now 5th on the table, I believe, and City are up to 2nd. So looking good with another couple of rounds to go before the finals kick off. And yeah, interesting stats, right now. Top 2 teams coming from Melbourne. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Might be a bit of a grand final at Amy Park, and I think we'll
We'll have to go to that.
well, I think we'll
Might do the pod fucker there, won't we?
yeah, well, we might be box seats, you know what I mean?
I think we might have to. That's bloody good. I'm still getting more flavours are still coming into me as well as I'm sort of sitting here too.
got good linger. Like I took my last sip like a minute ago, and it's still
there.
about.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a real tricky one to really, like, they don't really give you a flavour to work with. Being it's a, Isla, it's a maritime, it's almost like wrestling an octopus out in the middle of the fucking ocean. That's what you're probably tasting. Let's be honest. This is probably what it tastes like. And if you're gonna fall to your death when you drink this, you'd be happy. There's no doubt about that.
The guys at Talisker would love to hear that. Just pinch Roscoe's little tagline there. It's like wrestling a fucking octopus. It's bloody good. That's brilliant. Yeah, definitely the more and more that you have it, it's just gets smoother and smoother, doesn't it?
Definitely with the ice dropped in.
Yeah, well, the ice will melt into it and it gets smoother over time. So
Yeah. All right. Well, we've tasted that one, so we're going to do around the table here and give it a good old rating. So who wants to kick off? Give us a bit of a summary.
Was there honey in that? Is there a honey?
It's the beeswaxy
Beeswax.
notes.
Oh, yeah, I reckon there is that at the end, actually. With a bit of ice in that now, you do get that, like that sweet
Honeycomby type of...
on the end of it.
Yeah.
Like right as you're finishing up your drink with a bit of water, with a bit of ice.
Yep.
I do think there is that now. I was thinking it was honey, but yeah, beeswax, I guess, is one way to think of it.
Yep.
Fisherman's Friend, the mintiness. I don't know. Forgot about that one.
I've only ever had that once, and that was at that night, so...
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's anywhere near a mint, anything like that. Like, would it be a menthol?
It's more of the licorice mint type thing, so aniseedy type mint. I think that's what they're getting at, because Fisherman's Friends traditionally aren't like a standard Mentos or an Eclipse mint or anything like that. They're more heavy on an aniseedy type of taste, I think. So
so that's what I'm picking up when I'm drinking it.
Yeah.
Oh, not licorice.
It's a straight out Fisherman's Friend, that one.
Well, look, if I was going to give it a score, I mean, look, it's hard to put a number on a bottle that is 25 years spent making, and that's the thing. It's these guys that are doing the same tradition. I mean, Talisca's been around for what, 150, 200 years? They've been doing it the same way.
A decent amount of time.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And they've followed the same characteristics to make the same whiskey, and they've decided as we go along, we're going to start to store a few barrels away. We're going to put them away. We're going to, let's see what people think of our whiskey as we get along and we grow our business. And, they've got some select casks that are hidden away. I mean, I'm sure they'd have 30, 40, 50-year-old barrels as well. So imagine what they're going to taste like. But, to give this a number is sort of, I guess, you couldn't score it below an 8, really. Like, it's a good drink, no doubt about it. Is it the world's best whiskey? No, but do you sort of appreciate it a bit more because it's a few years spent longer, you know what I mean? And it's sort of hard to not give it a good score. Super smooth, great drink. It does give you a little bit of the smoothness. I'd say yes. The finish with that beeswax perhaps is oily as well. It's just sort of coats the tongue. So overall, without a doubt, it's an 8. I guess we'll go with an 8.
8. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very nice. John Boy?
Yeah, I was floating around in 8 to 9. But yeah, I'll probably just go with the 8 as well.
Go with an 8. Yep. I'd probably tend to agree, very similar to the boys as well. I know we're not doing halves. We don't like halves in this place, but I think being the fact that it is a 25, pretty rare, I think that boosts it up a smidgen for me as well. There was a few of those flavours coming through. It was extremely smooth. I like the peppery note towards the end, and the fact that, as we said before, that it does stay on the tongue with the taste towards the end. And you also still get those tastes coming through even a minute after you've actually swallowed the liquid. I'd probably give it a 9. That'd be my overall on that one, boys.
Recommendation.
Definitely a good recommended whiskey to get.
If you got to spare $700.
Yeah.
if you're lucky enough to have a mate that has a bottle of it, is more important than having $700 to drink it.
Spot on, and there's currently half left, so no need to rush. Just when you're passing through.
Save it for
another podcast.
Cold winter's day, you know what I mean?
We've got a few of those coming up soon. All right, so now that one's done, we're just going to take a quick little break. But when we come back, we will have one of the boys' whiskies to kick us off with. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Now, first off, apologies. We've just spent the last hour having a great old chat and enjoying a couple of whiskies. Realised at the very end of it that I didn't hit the record button. Massive. So, apologies for all of that, but it's all right. We're going to give you the next 2 hours of greatness with a few extra whiskies that Jono is going to bring out. Also, myself and Roscoe is going to pick one little special one of his choosing off the back bar. So, don't worry, we will cover quite a fair bit in this.
Old Big Mac doesn't hit the old record button. So
Are you sure you hit it this time?
I'm almost 100% sure that light definitely looks brighter to you, does it?
A little bit.
Double check and triple check, please.
Yeah, I think we could be pretty sweet. So look, my performance sometimes
may be good, sometimes may be shit.
What can you do? I mean, yeah, it's just 50-50. That's what I am.
Similar to Aubameyang.
Yeah, Aubameyang. Yeah, no, he's a good player. He played his best at Arsenal. What's Arsenal? Arsenal. Okay.
That's a lovely return ball for Emile Smith-Rowe, who's got acreage to run into here, Smith-Rowe. And support from Aubameyang! Arsenal have their boot on the Tottenham throat!
Yep, fuck Tottenham. We're also introducing something else as well, a little swear jar here. So whenever you notice this sound come on, yes, that's just our little cue to add a little bit of extra coinage into the swear jar that we'll then put in at the end of the calendar year, and we'll buy a few extra whiskies to enjoy on the pod that, we'll all put in. I dare say Roscoe will be putting in a bit.
Oh, I'll be up for dollars, don't worry about that. Plenty of dollars. Lots of dollars, no sense.
But we're going to give John Boy the ropes right here to take us off with his whiskey for this evening. So, all yours, my friend.
All right. So, brought my whiskey in a paper bag, as will be tradition, I think.
Yes, the hobo bag. Yes.
It's all hidden. We're doing blind tasting, so we can't really see what Johnny's brought in today, apart from a little bit of a gold label on top. And is that a brown paper bag with a Dan Murphy's symbol on the side there? Can I see? Did you buy it from Dan's?
I did pick it up from Dan's.
Dan's?
Picked it up today.
Oh, today? Was that in the special cabinet? Where'd you get that from?
I had to get someone to get it out of the cabinet for me.
The cabinet?
Yeah.
Is that the cabinet that also contains these specials?
Hey, it's me, Dan Murphy's, for my midweek blackout special. Get fucked up with a fat lad, only $8. That'll do the job. 3 old bottles of Bowler's Run, only $8. How the fuck do I do it? I got a whole box of Sunnyvale here, only $8. Fuck me, that's cheap. Get fuck on for fuck all with Dan Murphy's.
There's a few dollars there. Don't worry about that. We'll be out of there. Don't worry about that. A few dollars in the swear jar straight up.
Imagine that. Fucking next week we'll get Sunnyvale fucking cask for a tasting on the pod.
Might as well.
Bit of goon bags, no worries.
No harm.
No, take it away, Johnny.
All right. So I've poured out a few drinks for Macca and Ross in their nothing glasses. So it's a pretty golden whiskey. And
strong scent.
Yeah. Going to give you notes on the scent before I dive into the actual.
What can you pick up on first, Roscoe?
Interesting. This is obviously the third drink of the night, yet only the first one being recorded because we fucked that one up. We've had a couple so far. We've enjoyed a couple of whiskies, and we're on to the third one. I would say
I'm getting fruit.
Yeah, the fruit is
like an orange.
Oh, I wasn't going to go orange.
Nectarine or fucking mandarin. It's something orange, I'll tell you that. That's pretty potent on the nose.
Yeah, Ross was telling me the other week he speaks Mandarin.
How do you go with that?
Pretty much no yum cha.
What's yum cha mean?
Not sure, to be honest.
Oh, bugger.
So,
Jesus.
Johnny, tell us about what have we got on the nose here? Because if I'm picking up, I get a sweetness, which may be, well, it's a tricky one. I don't know. It's obviously a fruit.
So yeah, it's a complex with hints of vanilla, melon, and lemon zest.
Okay.
Lemon. The vanilla is there because it's sweet.
Lemon.
I was almost thinking cinnamon.
Lemon.
Almost thinking it has a bit of cinnamon to it.
The yellow orange. That's what everyone says. That's why I said orange, I reckon.
Well, it's a citrus.
Yeah.
It's a citrus. You're along those lines with the citrus.
Yeah. And melon's still a pretty hard one to distinguish out of that as well. You never think you're going to get too much melon on a whiskey.
No. I mean, how many whiskeys do you read?
Is it a
Melon.
Yeah.
Is it a rock melon? Is it a cocoa melon? Is it a cantaloupe?
Cantaloupe.
Watermelon.
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 Yeah, who knows?
Most obvious one.
Yeah. Watermelon's 99% water.
I've got some watermelon spirit here. Actually, we might try that one later. The old Captain Morgan coconut and watermelon.
Citrus, as you said, Macca, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the most overpowering note on there that I'm getting.
Yeah, but
Hint of sweetness for the vanilla.
well,
Hint.
so the vanilla is
Derived always from bourbon cask generally, I'm guessing.
Generally, yeah.
yeah. I think that's there as well. I'd give you that. I'd give you the vanilla. All right, on to the tasting.
Let's try it, Nate.
That is a good tasting, neat whiskey.
It's very smooth. No ice needed on this one. No lingering afterburn like, say, a car strength might have, but you still notice a little tingle. But it's a nice, welcoming tingle.
Flavors are good. There's, I don't know, a touch of pepper or something. Like
Yeah.
it just gets you a little bit, but it's not overpowering. I know it's hard to pick up flavors on that.
More fruit on the taste I'm getting again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm getting a second round of fruit. What do we got, John?
You want some notes on the palate?
Yeah.
So, medium balance with lemon citrus, vanilla, and light toasted oak, and some nutmeg.
Nutmeg.
A little bit of pepper and a nutmeg,
Yep.
like the spice jar last week. I'm going to have to listen back in the pre-recorded episodes for that one.
And we'll be releasing that when we hit some milestones amongst the socials on there as well. But stay tuned for that one.
A couple of spice jars. Might be giving them away. Might fill them up and give them away.
Ex-jalapeno refill bottles that Roscoe brought along last week or the week before.
Straight from Mexico. The beaches of Cancun.
No, what'd you call them?
Fuck do I know?
The beaches of Cairn. Sri Lankan beaches.
That's French.
French. No, it's definitely a solid drink. Neat. I'm thoroughly enjoying that.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good drink. It is. You can have that neat. You definitely don't need ice. You've got me with this, Johnny, because I don't like it.
Well, do you not? Do you want some notes on the distillery or?
Yep.
Yep.
Tell us some history. Give us some history, mate.
All
Hit
right.
me up.
So, exists because a school teacher wanted to get you sourced. So, back in 1824, the school teacher wanted to establish a distillery. This is about 1 year after it was legalized.
Yep.
In 2013, the company announced a plan to build a 100 million pound production facility. In July 2019, they completed that, but the cost had then blown out to 140 million.
Wow.
And
So these dollars are not in Australian or
pounds. So,
pounds?
Shit.
yeah.
Interesting.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a big setup, isn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously it's big backing.
Here comes the money.
Bloody hell. That's a lot of money.
a lot of money to spend on whiskey, but you know, they evidently back their own products.
Yeah,
So,
well, they know what they're doing. Let's be honest.
Yep.
That is a good drink to start.
you know, they've been doing it for almost 200 years now. You know,
Yeah, which is historic as well. So they've got the right sort of setup there with that one.
Yep. So
Is this the first time you've had this drink yourself?
yeah,
It is. So you're even blind tasting yourself.
I'm blind
almost.
tasting
Yeah.
myself, but I've got the notes in front of me, so I can
Well,
see.
well, that's not the point. If you're enjoying the drink, is more the point how you're feeling about it as well, not just
Yeah,
reading
yeah.
off it. Yeah.
No, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I researched it, looked up the flavors and the palate and all that. I'm like, yeah, that looks like a drink I will enjoy.
Have you had this brand before?
No,
No.
so
So it's not a common brand, would you say?
it is I would say it's a common brand.
Yep.
So
Okay.
but I'll probably have had it and just not remembering.
Yep.
But it's a Speyside whiskey.
Okay. Hence the fruity notes that we're probably getting a little bit more out of that as well.
Coming now with a bit of ice as well.
Yep.
And this company is crazy about their casks.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got their own master of wood, and he effectively oversees their oak barrel sort of process, or acquisition or creation, a bit of both.
Call that the cooperage.
Yeah, and they got 200,000 odd barrels.
And are they doing new barrels now? Is this like a first fill?
Wouldn't be able to tell you.
Probably if they're doing new, like if they've got a guy in to sort it out or whatever, they're probably doing obviously doing first fills
Yeah.
with their product, but they're
Yeah.
probably also using ex-bourbon casks.
Oh, a bit of both. I mean, they'll probably build their own barrel, send it off somewhere, get it filled up.
Generally, the barrels are only a 2-time use as well, with whiskey as well, which is interesting as well. So
Yeah. So, it says he generally seasons them with sherry.
Yep.
So that gives you a bit of a hint about the barrels used in this. So this is a triple barrel whiskey.
it's going to be finished in 2 different barrels, is it? Is that what you're saying? Stored in one initially, and then split into 2 barrels to finish and put back together in a bottle at the end.
No, I think it was seasoned in 2. So it was seasoned between a European and American sherry oak cask.
Mm-hmm.
And then finished off in an ex-bourbon American.
So aging in an ex-bourbon.
Last 3
The
months,
last
6
bit.
months. Does it have detail
The last
on
bit.
the distance on that one?
No, I didn't have that.
How many years?
This is a 12-year-old.
12-year-old. Okay.
It is a very good drink.
And just while Johnny just has a nice little drink of water just to loosen up the palate there, Roscoe, definitely after we've just dropped the ice in it just now, I reckon I'm getting more sweeter notes now than what I was in the fruity. The fruity was there before. I reckon now it's eliminated the fruitiness. Now I'm getting more sweeter notes. What are you getting?
I would agree.
Yeah. Have a go at that, John, once you get a chance. That's definitely changed the whole complexion.
It's almost like a bit more maltiness towards the end now with ice in it too.
Yep.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
a
I'm
bit of
getting that.
maltiness. It's kind of coming over.
Would you say that's the toasted oak?
Toasted
Yeah.
oak, perhaps, yeah, potentially, yeah.
Yep. Yep. So that finish is coming through. So
Is that on the finish, is it?
Yeah.
Does that say that on the finish? Yeah,
says that
yeah.
on
I
the
think you do get that maltiness at the end of this drink. Yes. It's not there initially and not there with, probably brings it out more with the ice, but it's probably there when you have it in the glass anyway at the
yeah.
start.
Yeah.
But definitely you could probably taste that right at the end there a bit more. So, and even I would say there's, it's hard to put a finger on it. Kind of like, I guess toasted oak is a good way to say that. Give us some more, Johnny. What have we got? Any more notes you can share with us? Give us a bit of a history about this distillery that we're talking about. And this is big dollars as well. So these guys are big boys.
Oh, I kind of just went through the history there, didn't I?
Yeah. So, but you're talking about they're setting up a new distillery. $140 million going into this.
Pounds.
Yep. Well, that's even more money than fucking 140 million.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're going to fucking.
How many Aussie dollars is that, Roscoe?
Well, it's pretty much what Kevin De Bruyne earns every week, isn't it?
It'll be about that. Overpaid.
No, so,
Definitely delivers.
yeah. No, but the company goes back to what, 1824?
Yeah. So history. which is good too. You know what I mean? Like they've had the same recipe, same style, same, vats, same setting it up, same distillery.
Just improvements as they go on along as well, just to fix things up.
Exactly what you need.
What region are we hitting on this, Johnny?
Speyside.
Yep, you mentioned that as well. And in terms of price point for this one,
125.
beautiful. Yep, that's a decent price
It's a
point.
very good price for a good drink.
Yeah.
I reckon that's a good drink for that price.
For 125, 100%. Yep.
Yep. Well, another interesting point about this mob is they love to use a smaller distill.
Smaller still. Okay.
They'd have multiple stills
Yeah,
as well, but
yeah.
they using in a smaller still.
Yep. Just because, they believe that, well, it does give more surface area between the still and the whiskey and that whole process. And,
The vaporization.
yeah.
So they're still using small stills.
Yeah.
Bang, doubles. Fucking hell, it's a good drink. Oh, I'm wrapped with this one,
Yeah,
to
I'll
be
be
honest.
honest.
Johnny's hit 2 home runs, even though we didn't record, or we did record the couple of weeks ago. He brought in an absolute cracker, which we won't divulge.
You're not going to hear it unless you sign up for
Yeah.
the old, what have we got?
Subscribe to
Email.
YouTube,
Subscribe.
fucking follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all the socials. Get around us, and one day we might release that real episode 1.
And don't forget, once we've shared what bottle we're drinking, go and get it yourself. Have a taste and send us in your notes yourself. Don't be shy. Like
Yep.
we like hearing what you've got to say about it as well. That's the best thing about this is we're just 3 blokes having a good drink, enjoying it and sharing it. And if you've had this before, well, why not tell us what you think?
Yeah, give us your rating. Happily take that on any comments on Facebook as well, on Instagram and YouTube as well. We want to hear exactly what you guys have got to say too. So, Johnny, we're going to give you our ratings now, and then you're going to hit us with the brand as well, mate. So,
Was there any more final notes on that? We got the maltiness at the end?
Yeah.
Did we miss a few?
Lemon citrus, vanilla, light toasted oak, and nutmeg.
vanilla and toasted oak. That's the 2 I'm getting.
Carries the citrus through the whole drink, which I'm not sure I get. Maybe on the nosing a bit more, but not so much on the tasting.
Nose and without ice.
Yeah, I got a bit without ice.
Yeah, nose and without ice is a citrus, and then after ice goes in, it's vanilla and
Vanilla now.
toasted oak.
Yeah, definitely vanilla now, and the maltiness finishes it. Yeah, I sort of miss that citrus myself, but by all means, look, I think this is a terrific drink,
Yeah.
and if it was below an 8, you're crazy.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
For me, it's an 8 without a doubt, and we're just still leaving that room to find any other drink that may be better. But
Yeah.
certainly it's a solid 8, and it should be probably a little bit higher, but we'll give it an 8.
Yep, I would probably go slightly higher on my one. I would say 9 for me. Again, price point comes into it as well. $125,
Good value.
great value.
12-year-old.
12-year-old, and a solid drink. And again, your history that you're talking about here as well. This isn't just a fly-by-nighter. It's a person, or it's a company that's been around for some time and followed traditions. And that's exactly what you want to get out of a whiskey as well. It's honesty. It's the original factor that you're getting out of it too. So 900% for me is bang on. So well done to these guys. Johnny?
All right, so we've got a Macallan 12-year-old triple cask.
Should have
matured.
known it's Macallan.
That's
Fuck,
why.
no
Fucking
wonder. You sold us. And it's only $125 because they can keep it cheap. They're fucking big,
Yeah.
but they do it right.
Yep.
They deliver.
$140 million, £140 million pound production facility. So, they can pump it out.
The thing is about Macallan, and now I can taste it, that I'm drinking it, and I know it's Macallan. I can taste it as Macallan. It is, it's continuous with their flavour. I've got one bottle at home, and I've had it, and I knew it was a good bottle. It was just delivered. It was a really good bottle, and they set their price point at the value where they can make some money, but they don't have to make a lot of money because they're a big enough brand. They've done that. They've done the hard work, as you said, the history. And now they're getting a lot of money behind them. Well, obviously, they're setting up a massive distillery. They're only going to grow bigger. but they do deliver. You can't really fault this drink.
Not at all.
It is a good drink.
Consistency as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you can get consistency right in any whiskey, you're laughing because you're going to get repeat business and customers the whole time. That's a cracking drink, Johnny. Well done.
And when you can produce that sort of quality, you're always going to get the customers.
Yep.
And so a 12-year-old too. So we're looking forward to potentially getting ourselves a little bottle of something maybe aged a touch higher than a 12-year-old and putting that up against it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
plenty of drinks to be had over this podcast over the upcoming months, over the weeks and the future ahead of us.
Especially if the swear jar racks up a bit of coinage.
We'll have to hear what people are saying we should buy with our swear jar, because there's a lot of fucking money going in that swear jar.
That is a great shout out.
I should probably just note that some of those points I got were from vinepair.com.
VinePair, thank you very much, vinepair.com. Little shout out to you guys.
And again, their tasting notes were pretty much spot on.
Yep.
I didn't get the citrus sort of myself. However, as you know, it's Macallan, and it is a quality drink. It is certainly, if you're looking to buy a gift for someone's birthday, Father's Day, whatever you need to do for someone else, this is always going to be something that someone will appreciate when they drink it. No doubt about that.
Yeah. And Macallan, I'm pretty sure you can get from most local independent stores, but as we said before, Johnny did get his from Dan Murphy's. But be sure to check out any local liquor stores before you make your purchase.
That's just because I'm too lazy to go around to all the locals.
Get around the community, support the locals.
Support the locals.
Yeah, but Macallan also has a double cask as well, but I opted for the triple.
Oof.
I think
that's the man with the plan. That's twice now. He's bought a drink on the night of the pod.
2 wins in a row.
2 wins in a row. How's that? On the fly.
And I think I have the double cask at home, or I have the oak cask. I have one of the Macallans, and it's sensational.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's done it again. He's done it again, hasn't he?
He sure has. Now, Johnny, you haven't given us your rating, so go for it, mate.
Oh, it's definitely in the 7 and 8 range. Seeing you guys were giving it such high praise, I guess I'll go an 8.
Yep. So you've joined Roscoe. So Roscoe's an 8. I've gone a 9. Johnny's gone an 8. So that gives you a clear indication as to what Roscoe mentioned before, that if you are looking for a really good whiskey as a gift, definitely give this a crack. It's got our tick of approval. So, pretty wrapped with that. But for now, we're just going to have a quick little intermission, but we'll be back very, very shortly to run you through my whiskey. So stick around.